Good morning and welcome back to another video, and today we are going to be going over 5 materials that you should always have and be farming. Now just stick around and enjoy the video. Okay, so this is a list for the 5 materials that I would suggest that you always have on the auction house and always have in stock. That means that should be relatively farming it quite frequently. Now that being the case, let's move into number 1. Now, number 1 is DREAMLEAF. DREAMLEAF is primarily one of my most favourite materials in order to get regular gold. This is due to the fact that DREAMLEAF can be milled into sallow and roseate pigments in order to craft glyphs or sell those materials on the auction house flat up. Now other than that, if I don't want to do that, I can always sell the DREAMLEAF on the auction house flat. Now I tend to do half and half, where I will mill half and then turn those into that, and then the rest of it I'll sell flat on the auction house, giving me a wide variety of stuff in order to actually make some gold with. Now, along with this, I do find that DREAMLEAF is quite reliable when it comes to, in the grand scheme of selling materials, and holds its price quite well. Other than that, the best farm at this moment in time is definitely the Dark Heart Thicket, as you can get roughly around about 800 DREAMLEAF per hour for half an hour's work, and that is running into the Dark Heart Thicket, running up to the second boss, and basically just burning all of those mobs down. You do also get a loaded Legion transmog as well, which you can sell on the auction house, which sells moderately fast, but that's not really the actual main goal for that. The thing is DREAMLEAF. DREAMLEAF is primarily one of my favourite ones in order to actually farm up, due to the fact of its versatility when it comes to being crafted into stuff. And I know what you're saying, you could probably just farm up for yarn skaggle or something else like that, and no. Basically, the Nightmare Pods is the thing that makes DREAMLEAF so worthwhile. This is because it gives you additional sallow and roseate pigments, and overall is pretty damn awesome in order to get additional stuff from this. Now, I find this farm to be relatively great in the grand scheme of material farming, and it requires me to do little to no work in order to pick up a load of materials which I can then sell on the auction house. Now, aside from all of that, let's move into number 2, which is Primal Fire. Primal Fire, all in all, sells quite frequently in the grand scheme of materials, and especially old world materials. This is a BC material and it sells really fast still. This is because it's used to create a wide variety of transmogs, and also is used in a load of other different types of things. Now other than that, Primal Fire is pretty dead simple in order to farm up. You can either do this solo in the Throne of Kill Jaden, where you just run around the area killing up all of the fire elementals. You can group up in a 5-man farm and get more of those per hour. Now I primarily love the method of using a group farm, and that is because I get more materials per hour for this, and it's relatively dead simple in order to do. Now other than that, that is pretty much Volatile Fire. It's that simple. You just pick up the motes of fire, turn them into Primal Fire, and then you just sell them on the auction house. I usually just sell these flat. There's no real like flipping it into like different things or anything like that. Maybe Primal Might, maybe, but I don't tend to do that. What I do tend to do is I just sell the materials flat on the auction house, as they tend to go for a lot of gold for one Primal Fire. Now aside from all of that, let's move into number 3, which is Volatile Life. Now Volatile Life, in all, sells really fast, and that is because it's used in a lot of different types of things, providing it is used in the Vial of the Sands recipe, and it's used quite a lot. That all in all means that it's going to sell quite fast, and the gold for this is rather steady on most servers. Now Volatile Life can be farmed up from any of the Cataclysm herbs. Now I've picked 2 of the locations which I would say is the Whiptail farm, which is located in Uldum, and also the Ajara's Veil farm, which you can see on the screen right now, and that is from the Abyssal Depths. Now this is due to the fact that you can turn these into a multi-farm, either for the Whiptail farm is Pyrite Ore, and the Ajara's Veil one in the Abyssal Depths is for additional obsidian ore as well. Now aside from that, you can sell those herbs on the auction house, but mainly due to the fact it is the Volatile Life that I'll be mainly going for. That is because it sells so frequently, and I can pretty much guarantee I'm going to sell it like within the next few days. The other materials can take a little bit longer to sell. They are a very niche thing in order for people to buy, so just be prepared for that one. You might not sell the herbs, but the volatile life you'll sell quite frequently. All in all, you'll probably sell the volatile life before the herbs actually get sold. So that's something you may want to bear in mind before you go ahead and do these types of farms. Now, coming in at number 4 is FELSLATE. Providing that you've got your ranks up in FELSLATE, you'll be able to get a lot of this per hour, and also this still sells for a relatively strong amount of gold, and you get quite a bit of it in the actual farm. The farm in question is in Suramar, and I found this route to actually be one of the best ways in order to get a hold of FELSLATE, and that is by just flying around the entire area picking up the FELSLATE and the laystone ore. Yes, I do pick up the laystone ore as well, even though the gold for that doesn't hold that well, but if it's there, I'll pick it up. Especially if you're using the Dark Moon Firewater Potion. That is due to the fact that you can actually pick up more per hour with the Dark Moon Firewater Potion. This would be a great way in order to pick up loads of materials, and other than that, I find this one to be quite steady when it comes to selling the FELSLATE and the laystone ore from this actual farm. That means I can then pick up a load of gold's worth of Legion materials for mining, and then I can sell those on the auction house. Respectively, I would recommend that you have rank 3 in all of them, due to the fact that you're going to be missing out on some you'll be missing out on additional materials from these nodes. So that is something you may want to bear in mind right there. Coming in last on my list, and that is titanium ore. Now, I've always banged on about titanium ore, the Wintergrasp farm. Yes, it's on the screen right now, and Wintergrasp is primarily the best way in order to get hold of titanium ore. And this is what I tend to do. After I've done my hour's worth of farming for the titanium ore farm, I will then double check and see if it's worth crafting it into titanium bars, as they still sell quite frequently. And alongside that, if it's actually profitable in order to turn 8 Saronite bars into a titanium bar, then I'll go ahead and do that also. That means that I can then get more gold for that hours invested. And also, I've actually exported this into the Discord in the description down below, where in import strings for the titanium ore to alchemy flip for worth it, so it's a lot easier for you guys to judge what your gold per hour is for that. Now, aside from that, I find this to be one of my most favourite farms as well, and that is because that it's just so simple and not many people actually farm it up. Like, I'm on a high pop server, and yet I don't see anyone farming it up, and it sells so fast. It's just a great way in order to make some gold, and the competition wise, I don't see that many people doing the titanium ore farm that much. All in all, I can always take the approach of making a mechanized chopper, as basically an hour and a half's worth of farming for this usually gives me enough to make one mechanized chopper, which then I can compile all of that material into one mount, which then I can sell on the auction house for a pretty penny as well. Now, aside from all of that, guys, that is pretty much all I have to say for 5 materials that you should always have on the auction house and always have in stock. Other than that, guys, have an awesome rest of the day, and I shall see you in the next video, which will be tomorrow.